Good afternoon. Welcome back. My name is Christina Nolan, and this is Public Speaking 101. Today, we're going to talk about a very serious subject to me. It's about our youth, it's about their education while they are incarcerated. So let me throw out a question there for all of you. Should high school classes and college courses be taught in juvenile detention centers? Let's just ponder that, and then we're going to leave that in the back of our minds for 1 minute. Now, let's think of education. When I think of education, I don't see it just as a list of classes, a bunch of books, tests, group projects, speeches. I don't see it as that. To me, education is supposed to be a tool for building a better future. And if young people are already in a place where they have made mistakes, I think that that's actually the most important time to give them a chance to learn, to reel them back in, right? So today, I'm going to talk about three things. First, what's going wrong in the juvenile detention schools right now. Second, how programs like RAND, a global nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that does a wide range of research, has proven that when these students are given the proper education, the proper materials and resources, along with people who care, that fosters a better environment for them and it helps them succeed. And lastly, how mentorship programs such as From Prison to Pro help make those lessons last. Now, let me start with what's happening right now. In 2023, the Youth Law Center released a report called Out of Sight, Out of Mind. Now, this report has released numbers that were jaw-dropping. More than half of juvenile court schools, that's about 56%, so over half, 56% don't even offer A through G courses. A through G courses are what is necessary to apply for admission to California public universities. These A through G courses are classes such as mathematics, history, English, a second language, visual and performing arts, um, biology, physics. All of these things are not even the standard in the juvenile detention centers. Now, and here's another staggering number that just, it kind of made my heart hurt, it made me sad. Less than 1% of the students in juvenile detention facilities graduate. Less than one. So let's really think about that for a minute. Out of hundreds of kids, hundreds of students, maybe, high emphasis on maybe one will graduate with a high school diploma or a GED. One. On top of that, these schools often don't have consistent teachers. They don't follow state standards, and student records are incomplete and inaccurate. So instead of catching up in detention, most youth fall behind. And then when they go back to their communities, they're already set up to fail, which will increase the chances of them reoffending again. Sad, I know. But now I know that might sound discouraging, but here's the good news. We actually have proof that education in detention can work when it's done right. The RAND Corporation has studied correctional education for years. The RAND Corporation is a global organization, nonprofit, nonpartisan. They study a wide range of different activities from different fields. And they have comprised studies about juvenile detention facilities. And when they came up with this program to provide materials, to provide resources to the students in detention facilities, they found that it works. It really does work. This helps the students. Their research shows that the people who participate in these programs are 43% less likely to return to prison. 43% less likely to return to prison. That's almost cutting recidivism in half. Rand also found that students in correctional education programs are 13% more likely to graduate and pursue higher education after release. That's 13% more. When things are done right, 13% more are more likely to graduate or pursue higher education after release. And this isn't just a theory. Rand has actually provided real courses and materials to detention centers across the country. They've been doing this for over 75 years now. When students are given structure, resources, and teachers who care, the results are measurable and life-changing. Now let's think about that. When they are given the resources, the structure, and the teachers who actually care about it, they care about their future, these students will succeed. But we can't just stop at classes and textbooks and resources, and even the people that care, because that's just, for that time being while they're at school. These students also need role models. They need role models who can show them what's possible. That's where mentorship comes in. One program that stands out to me is called From Prison to Pro, founded by Dr. and Professor Stanley Ardress. His story is powerful. He went from being incarcerated as a youth to facing 20 years in prison for selling drugs. He served 10. He gets out, and through a whole lot of studying, a whole lot of mentoring that he had to reach out and get, he became a doctor and a scientist and a professor at Howard University. Amazing. Now, he dedicates his time to mentoring youth in similar situations that he found himself in years ago. When young people in detention centers hear from someone like him, it makes education feel real. Feels like it's something that they can obtain, something they can actually touch. They see someone who walked the same path and used education to change his life. That kind of mentorship doesn't just teach, it inspires. Let me say that again. That type of mentorship doesn't just teach, it inspires the youth. And inspiration can be the fuel that pushes students to keep going long after they've left the detention center. So with all this in mind, let's come back. Let's reel it on back to the big question. When we ask, should high school students or should high school classes and college courses be taught in juvenile detention centers? I think the better question is, why wouldn't we? I think it's not just an option. It shouldn't even be a question. It's an absolute, astounding yes. It is essential for these children. Right now, too many detention schools are failing their students. But research from RAND shows that education in these settings work, and mentorships like From Prison to Pro also gives these students lifelong lessons that they take with them forever, for a lifetime. And if we really believe in second chances, which I know most of us do, most of us believe in second chances, then we have to give these young people real access to education, real access, real materials, real resources and real genuine people that want to see them succeed. Because if they see that you see that they can succeed, then they're going to turn around and look in the mirror and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to see it within themselves thanks to someone like you or thanks to their mentor. When we teach, when we teach these children, we're not just filling up time in a classroom. We're giving them the tools to build a different future. And to me, that is all what education is about. Okay? It's not just about filling up the classes. It's not about just taking up time because we need to study English for 1 hour today. It's not about that. It really isn't. It's about building a different future so they can receive a different outcome. That is what education is all about to me. So I want to thank you all for listening to me. I'm Christina Nolan. This is Public Speaking 101, and thank you for watching.